As I turn my attention to this year's examination, which was administered at 21 government secondary schools and the Samuel Jackman Prescott Institute of Technology, students from 69 public primary schools and 29 private primary schools were registered to write the examination. 3,381 students wrote the examination in 2020, as compared to 3,379 in 2019 and 3,418 students in 2018. 5 of the students who were registered to write the examination this year were unable to do so for medical reasons. 4 of those students have recovered and were assessed using the alternate paper, and the 5th student has been declared medically fit to be assessed over the course of the next few weeks. Those students who, in the opinion of the psychologists, are incapable of writing the examination may be exempted, and in 2020, requests for exemptions made on behalf of 54 students, which represented a 28.65% increase when compared to 42 in 2019 and 47 in 2018. The students who were granted exemptions this year have been allocated to institutions which can cater to their specific needs. These institutions include the Ann Hill School, the special units at Erdeston, Ellerton Primary, All Saints, Eagle Hall, and Charles F. Browne Memorial, the Derek Smith Vocational Center, and the Learning Center. In keeping with international accommodation for the administration of examinations, the Ministry of Education has been trying wherever possible to accommodate students who may have some form of impairment, disability, illness, or peculiar circumstance which may serve to disadvantage that student during the writing of the examination. In these cases, requests are usually made for additional time, which could be in large print, or for permission to leave the examination room periodically. This is in keeping with our underlying policy of ensuring that no child is left behind. In 2020, requests were made for 134 special considerations as compared to 105 in 2019, and the majority of the requests have come for students to be allocated extra time. Extra time is often needed for students with written expression disabilities in order to help them to formulate and to convey their responses, as well as those with attention deficits or autism, which may interfere with their concentration and focus. Of the students who wrote the examination in 2020, 3,226, or 94.5% of the candidates, were allocated to public secondary schools, as compared to 97.5% in 2019, 93.5% in 2018, and 93.1% in 2017. Each year, several students are not allocated in the initial stage, primarily because parents made too few choices of schools. When this situation occurs, the students are placed at a major disadvantage because they are then allocated to one of the few schools where spaces are available. This year, we sought to create a video to be able to simplify the process for parents and guardians in making this selection, and I believe that is the way we have to go in terms of using technology, not only to educate our students, but also to educate parents in helping them to make proper decision making for their students. With respect to mathematics, the raw scores range from 0 to 100. 24 students, 14 males and 10 females, amassed full marks. This is a 31% decline from 35 students in 2020. 2 male students scored 0 as compared to 6 males in 2019. And I think you may recall last year there was some concern as it related to our boys and the performance in the common entrance examination. I know we've taken steps this year to ensure that students who are performing below par and who even in some cases exemptions had been requested for those students, that they were put into specialized programs to be able to assist them as well. This year, the national mean in mathematics is 58.24. It has declined by 3.34 points from 2019, which was 61.58. In 2018, the national mean was 62.46. Female performance dropped by 4.7 from 65.26 in 2019 to 60.93. In 2018, it was 65.26. Similarly, the performance for males has dipped by 2.33 points from 57.88 in 2019 to 55.55 in 2020. In 2018, it was 59.73. The decline in the students' overall performance in mathematics has been observed in a number of public schools which perform above the national mean. This year has seen some disruption to the core group of schools that are consistent with their performance above the national mean. A few schools which consistently perform below the mean have made their way above the mean. Similarly, a few schools which normally perform above the mean have fallen below the mean. What has remained constant, however, is that over the last 3 years, the majority of public schools, 44 in total, continue to perform below the national mean, whereas the majority of private schools, 23 in total, continue to perform above the national mean. The mathematics paper comprised 55 items which were divided into 3 sections. Section 1 consists of 20 basic knowledge questions, which pertain to the recall of mathematical facts, and these are each worth 1 mark. Section 2 comprises 25 comprehension type items, each worth 2 marks. Section 3 contains 10 application type items, each worth 3 marks, and these items were designed to test students' ability to apply knowledge and comprehension skills to solve real-life problems. Students continue to demonstrate only average knowledge of basic mathematical concepts. Females continue to demonstrate a higher level of understanding of the basic mathematical concepts than males in all 3 sections of the paper. More than half of the students have demonstrated that they experience extreme difficulty in applying knowledge and skills to new situations. It should be noted that in section 1 and 3 of the paper, there is a slight decline in the number of public schools performing above the national mean, whereas for section 2, there is a slight increase. There has been an increase in the number of private schools performing above the mean on each section of the paper. This year, 24 students, 14 males and 10 females, scored full marks on the mathematics paper as compared to 35 students in 2019, 22 males and 13 females as compared to 10 students, 7 males and 3 females in 2018. Those students who are the top students in mathematics, and I know everyone is waiting anxiously to hear the names of all of these students, so I will read the names of the students as well as the school which the students attend. Scoring a raw score of 100 is Raphael Alexander at the St. Patrick's Roman Catholic School. Shaka Aline of the St. Stephen's Primary, full 100. Darren Barrow, Gordon Greenwich. Jazeer Bess of Blackman and Gollop. Jewel Boxall of the St. Angela's Primary. Zaire Carter of Eden Lodge Primary. Alyssa Drakes of West Terrace Primary. Mika Francois of the Hill Descaine Primary. Alexei Frederick of Bridgetown Seventh-day Adventist. Sharika Holder of Wills Primary. Tiara Hollingsworth of Hillaby Turner's Hall. Lucas McGurr Hutchinson of Providence Elementary. Danielle Jackman of the Rock Christian School. Ethan John, Bailey's Primary. Abobami Barker Leon of the St. Gabriel's School. Gabrielle Lowe, People's Cathedral. Danielle Nurse, Bailey's Primary. Janae Rowe, Bailey's Primary. Elena Sobers of Wesley Hall Jr. Heidi Stout of St. Winifred's. Malachi Vidal of St. Stephen's Primary. Hannah Waterman of St. Gabriel's. Liam Watkins of West Terrace Primary. And Jacoby Wilshire of St. Catherine's Primary. Of note is that in 2020, 702 or 20.8% scored less than 30% as compared to 614 or 18.2% in 2019. In 2020 also, 1,206 or 37% of the students scored between 30 and 69 as compared to 1,145 or 33.9% in 2019. Overall, the performance of students in the range of 70 to 100 has been relatively consistent. In 2020, 1,423, or 42.1% of the students, scored between 70 and 100 marks as compared to 1,636, or 47.9% in 2018. There was a decline in the number of students scoring 100% in 2020 over 2019, as well as a decline in the overall performance of students in the top percentile, 70 to 100. However, more students scored between 30 and 69 than below 30. The increase in the number of students scoring below 30 remains a major cause of concern. With respect to English, the raw scores range from 1 to 100. The overall national mean in English is 69.25 for 2020. This represents an increase by 3.51 when compared to the national mean of 65.74 in 2019. Further analysis of the data has shown that there has been a marginal increase in the overall performance of females over the 3-year period 2018 to 2020, whereas male performance indicates a marginal decline. A comparison of the performance of public and private schools above and below the national mean in English for the years 2018 to 2019 reveals that there has been some fluctuation in the number of public schools that have performed above the national mean in English over the past 3 years. In 2018, 27 public schools scored above the national mean as compared to 25 schools in 2019 and 24 in 2018. This highlights the fact that the majority of public schools have consistently scored below the national mean over the last 3 years. Data for the private schools reveal that 19 private schools scored above the national mean for English, while only 6 scored below for 2018. The data also shows that in 2019 and 2020, 21 and 23 private schools respectively scored above the mean, and 8 and 6 respectively scored below the mean. Thus, it can be noted that the majority of private schools have scored above the national mean over the last 3 years. The English paper comprises of sections A and B, with 85 items in total. Section A assesses the grammar, vocabulary, and comprehension, and accounts for 70 of the 85 items. Each item is awarded 1 mark. Section B consists of 2 comprehension passages which assess the ability of the candidates to comprehend expository text through the use of open-ended short answer questions. This section comprises the 15 remaining items which are awarded 2 marks each. The mean for Section A in 2020 was 54.92 as compared to 54.27 in 2019 and 55.37 in 2018. This represents a slight increase in the mean score when compared to the 2019 average. During this 3-year period, there's been a decline in both male and female performance on Section A of the paper, with the highest mean scores recorded in 2018, when it was 53.27 for males and 57.54 for females. In Section B of the paper was 14.33 as compared to 11.53 in 2019 and 14.22 in 2018. This year's mean score represents an increase of 2.8 from the mean in 2019. Once again, the performance of both males and females on Section B of the paper has fluctuated over the 3-year period, with the highest mean scores for males recorded in 2018 and females in 2020. In both sections A and B, female students consistently outperformed their male counterparts during the period under review. The distribution of scores in 2020 when compared to scores in 2019 revealed that 238 students, or approximately 7.01% of students, scored less than 30% in 2020 as compared to 282, or approximately 8.3% of students who would have scored less than 30% in 2019. It also showed that 1,053, or approximately 31.4% of students, scored in the mid-range, that is between 30 to 69%, as compared to 1,300, or approximately 38.5% of students in 2019. Lastly, it has also revealed that 2,090 students, or approximately 61.82% of the students, scored in the high range, 70 to 100%, as compared to 1,797 students, or approximately 53.2% of the students in 2019. This year, 15 candidates earned the distinction of being named among the top performers in English. Those students include Josiah Payne of the Eden Lodge Primary, who scored 100. Ayobami Leon Barker of the St. Gabriel's School, who scored 99. Mika Francois of the Hilda Scheme Primary, who scored 98. Soraya Goddard of the St. Luke's Academy, scoring 98. Raphael Jones of Charles F. Broome, scoring 98. Malaya Mears of the Trinity Academy, scoring 98 also. Elena Sobers of Wesley Hall Juniors, 98. Ishmael Aline, St. Winifred's Primary, 97. Jonathan Broome of the Rock Christian School, 97. Tazara Griffith of West Terrace Primary, 97. Solange Holdford of West Terrace Primary, 97. Jaden King of St. Cyprian's Primary, 97. Bianca Messiah of Providence, 97. Janae Rowe of Bailey's Primary, 97. Kristen Wolcott of St. Gabriel's, 97. That completes the students who are the top performers in that particular subject. With respect to the top female in this year's examination, Adanya Ayobami Barker Leon Barker of the St. Gabriel's School scored 100 in Maths and 99 in English. She will attend the Harrison College School. The top male in the island is Kilon Micah Francois of the Hilda Scheme. I thought so. Kilon Micah Francois of the Hilda Scheme Primary, who scored 100 in mathematics and 98 in English. Our top 10 overall, he will attend the Queen's College School. The top 10 overall performers are as follows. Adanya Ayabwami Leon Barker of the St. Gabriel's School will attend Harrison College. Elena Sobers of Wesley Hall Junior will attend Harrison College. Kilon Mika Francois of Hilda Scheme Primary, Queen's College. Janae Rowe, Bailey's Primary, Queen's College. Malaya Mears of Trinity Academy, Queen's College. Savannah Goddard, Luke's Academy, St. Michael's School. Tazara Griffith of West Terrace, Queen's College. Jaden King, St. Cyprian's, Harrison College. Rayu Aline of St. Winifred's, Queen's College. And Bianca Messiah of Providence, Harrison College. Turn my attention now to the early sitters. Many of you may know that the Early Sitters program is a program which recognizes students who may exhibit significant potential prior to reaching the age of 11 years. Such students may qualify to write the examination if they satisfy the stipulated criteria. Any student who is desirous of writing the examination would usually have to score not less than 85% in both language arts and mathematics in both Class 2 and Class 3. In 2020, requests were made for 17 students to write the examination early, as compared to 14 in 2019 and 13 students in 2018. Of the 17 requests made in 2020, only 5 would have satisfied the stipulated criteria and were granted permission to write the examination. The performance of the early sitters are as follows. Joel Wharton of Trinity Academy has been assigned to the St. Michael's School. Gerard Clark of St. Cyprian's has been assigned to Queen's College. Dakota Mapp, St. Cyprian's Primary, has been assigned to Harrison College. Andrew Morris, St. Cyprian's Primary, has been assigned to Harrison College. And Dominique Springer of St. Cyprian's Primary has also been assigned to Harrison College. Analysis of the results indicated that of the 5 students who wrote the examination early, all early sitters are male. 2 scored above 90% in both subjects. All 5 students scored above 90% in mathematics. and only one student fell below the criteria of 85%, and that was in English, and he scored 84%. With respect to deferrals, I think it is important to note that parents can request deferrals of 1 year if, in the opinion of the school, it is viewed that the child will benefit from an additional year. The student must have been consistently scoring below 20% in both mathematics and language arts, or did not complete a significant portion of the syllabus. Sometimes it is because of illness or because the child is overseas with the parents. Candidates meeting the necessary criteria may be granted a deferral. However, to ensure that systems are in place to address the needs of these students, I have also mandated that all requests for a deferral have to be accompanied now by a detailed program of study for the student during the following academic year. In 2020, requests were made on behalf of 65 students to be deferred from writing the Common Entrance exam, as compared to 103 in 2019. Of those 65, Class 4, there were 11 students, Class 3, 43 students, and Class 2, 11 students. I want to take this opportunity to congratulate all students who would have participated in this year's Common Entrance examination. While this examination, and certainly the announcement of the results of this examination, reflect oftentimes the students who have been the top performers in the examination, all students, I believe, are top performers in whatever they have done for the Common Entrance. And we have often seen that regardless of the performance in an exam, oftentimes students are skilled in a number of different areas, and they go on to secondary school and they're able to vary into the respective fields to be able to achieve their true potential. It is our responsibility as a ministry to ensure that those students who, regardless of how they perform at this entrance examination, that those students, that we are able to tap into their abilities and to be able to ensure that we get the full potential out of them.